Tonight on CTV News at 5.
The rest of Canada loves you, and we hope you stay.
Separation anxiety, a possible referendum in Alberta stirs up strong feelings in the Maritimes.
I'm getting a mix of sticking my thumb out and a little bit of people reaching out for rides as well.
Hitchhiking hero, a young Canadian cancer survivor, catches a ride across the country for a worthy cause.
Rain continues to move across the Maritimes this evening.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Panopalis. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, separation anxiety. Albertans will vote on whether the province should hold a referendum to remain a part of Canada when they head to the polls this fall. It's a contentious topic in Alberta where residents are very emotional and quite split on the issue. Here on the East Coast, thousands of kilometers away, as CTV's Brianne Foley shows us, the conversation really hits home. Hi, Brianne.
Hi, Maria. Yes, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says she will respect the wishes of Albertans, regardless of whether it's for or against a referendum. But for the rest of the country, specifically here in the Maritimes, the question of national pride comes into play.
If they want to leave, leave. I don't really care.
I think they should stay with us. We can just straighten out a few things.
So they give a lot, but I think they're crazy to want to separate.
I'm hoping they don't.
Those are the mixed feelings in the Maritimes on the referendum and the possibility of Alberta separating from the country.
Referendum is politicians leaving it to people to decide the fate of a major question.
Donald Savoie says this one is unique because it's a two-tier referendum, which adds length to an already lengthy process.
We might well be talking decades in the making, because the first process would be this referendum question of whether they should even go forward with any kind of a referendum.
And while it seems unlikely to happen anytime in the near future, the question is still on the minds of Maritimers.
I think if they separate, it will affect our future as students.
I lived in Alberta for 5 years, and it's a nice place. They shouldn't really separate because we actually need them as well as they need us.
Be careful what they ask for, because they're going to go into the FL, and I think they don't realize how good they got it, just like a lot of people in the world.
They're a big part of Canada, and you always hear people wanting to go to Alberta, tourism-wise. I mean, across Canada, everyone's important.
If they want to go, goodbye. They told us one time way back with Klein, in the East you can freeze in hell. Sorry that language, but that's what he said.
And while Alberta may have a reason to leave,
In this federation, there's an inherent bias towards Ontario and Quebec. We've lived with it. We don't have much of a choice in the Maritime provinces, but Alberta has the economic strength to say enough is enough.
McKay says now is not the right timing.
The timing is very unfortunate, I think, for Danielle Smith to be proceeding in this way, because obviously we're focused quite successfully on promoting Canadian unity.
We're all one. United we stand, divided we fall.
Many of the people I spoke with referred to Quebec in 1995 as an example of how the process is unlikely to move forward. And for the most part, those from the Maritimes and from away want Albertans to know they are wanted in this country. Maria?
Oh, thank you, Brianne. CTV's Brianne Foley with that report in the news center this evening. All right, over to the anchor desk we go now, where Todd Vadas is standing by with a look at the day's headlines. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Maria. At 6 o'clock, we'll have the latest on the investigation into a newborn baby's death. A man and a woman appeared in a Halifax court today facing several charges, including obstruction and concealing the body of a child. A 23-year-old woman is in hospital. She's in critical condition. We will have the details tonight at 6 o'clock. The New Brunswick government has released its action plan to deal with its debt-ridden power company. The Premier announced the creation of a consumer advocate to represent residents and small businesses with NB Power concerns. The province is also open to discuss a joint energy operator with the rest of the Maritimes. We'll have some questions for the Minister of Energy about exactly what that means coming up in your newscast. With a massive deficit on the books in Nova Scotia, the Premier is not sugarcoating the economic hill Nova Scotia needs to climb. In his annual State of the Province address, Tim Houston said he believes better days are ahead with new developments, including mining and offshore wind, and that really the province has no choice if it wants to get its financial house in order. You'll hear from him at 6. You'll hear from Kalen Mitchell now in the Weather Center. No one's complaining about the rain today after that weekend we had.
Yeah, because it was sort of a stretch of some sunnier, drier days for the Maritimes. I know we came down from that record-setting heat last week, but we didn't see a lot of wet weather when those temperatures came down. And, of course, that big area of high pressure was in place for the weekend, so it was nice to pick up some rain today. That rain's still coming down from a number of areas, so I don't have final rainfall totals yet. I am seeing some reports of some rainfall amounts of 10 to 20 millimeters, starting to get a couple viewer reports as well, some locally higher amounts than that, including Doug from Mesas Bay in the southwest of New Brunswick told me about 40 millimeters of rain has come down for that area from his rain gauge so far. Of course, temperatures are cooling off, the cloud cover and wet weather in place. Most temperatures now in the Maritimes sitting in the range of around 10 to 14 degrees. Checking in on the winds, not particularly strong as this wet weather moves through. A little bit gustier around the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia there out of a south and southeast direction. We're getting a few gusts reported between 30 and 60 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at the wet weather on radar, and you can see it is continuing to progress eastward. It is going to be clearing out as we make our way through this evening and tonight. The one warning in effect for it is a wind warning for northern Inverness County in Cape Breton. Some southeast wind gusts this evening and tonight could peak up to around 90 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at those winds in around the Grand Etang area. You can see them building, getting stronger up to around and just after midnight, and then following that, they should be diminishing into the start of the day for tomorrow. Maria.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. So getting kids to school in the morning often means sitting in traffic or rushing to make the bus. But in Charlottetown, some students are trying a new route. CTV's Maria Saru has more on the group bike rides gaining momentum.
Backpacks on and helmets buckled, a string of children pedals through this Charlottetown neighborhood with parents and teachers in front and close behind. They roll up to Sherwood School, where the morning ride ends at the bike rack.
I bike with my friends. It's a good exercise.
It's called a bike bus, with students traveling to school together, guided by adults along the way to build healthier and happier communities.
There's not as much gas in the air. It helps the environment.
Good morning. Similar programs have popped up across the country, from Edmonton to the Greater Toronto area.
Parents feel much more confident sending their kids off. It's very empowering for the students. They discover that their bodies can do strong and fast things.
For volunteers like Jennifer McPhail, getting students to class safely is the priority.
Usually I'm in charge of my own kid and she's very close to me on the road, but all of a sudden when you have a train of kids, it is longer and you have to recognize it's going to take longer to cross the streets.
The children also learn road rules so they can be more comfortable biking on their own.
There's a lot of energy. The kids are really positive. They're eager. They get up, they get ready. I've had parents email me saying their kids were ready an hour before school.
The city has recently approved a new active transportation plan, including bollards and concrete curbing added to this bike lane, so trips like this are even safer to take. Maria Saru, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Thank you, Maria. Time for our first break here on CTV News at 5. Still ahead, find out how to win a trip for two to beautiful Bermuda. We've got the details coming up. And after the break, we'll serve up this story.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, I'm going to tell you about a local restaurant here in town that recently received some pretty significant national recognition. You'll meet the owner and the chef of Le Brume de Coude coming up.
Big dreams and heartfelt moments. Tune in and donate to the 42nd IWK Telethon for Children May 31st. Your generosity provides world-class care to families across the Maritimes. The IWK Telethon live on CTV.
The cherry blossom trees along Park Avenue in downtown Dartmouth are in full bloom and drawing big crowds. Dozens of people made the trek Sunday for self-portraits and photo shoots amid the beauty of the pink flowered canopy along the tree-lined street. Nearby, a group of painters gathered to capture some of the beauty.
I really love being able to use pink because it's not a color you get to use often, especially when you're urban sketching. You're doing a lot of buildings and a lot of gray, and just being outdoors, getting the fresh air and the wonderful, perfect weather today.
Alas, the blooms are short-lived. The blossoms usually last about 10 or so days, and I guess they're peaking right about now. So now is the time to see them before the petals fall to the ground and Park Avenue returns to its normal self. Wow, beautiful pictures. So a Moncton restaurant made a prestigious list recently. As CTV's Derek Haggett reports, the owner and chef is thrilled to be on the best of list.
Making a national list for top restaurants has been an exciting and rewarding experience for Michelle Savoie.
Still humble, but we're proud.
Savoie is the owner and chef at Le Brume de Coude in Moncton. It was recently named one of 4 restaurants in the Maritimes to make Canada's 100 best list, coming in at number 91, the only one from New Brunswick.
We were overwhelmed. Now we're coming back to our senses. It's nice to be recognized for our hard work because the industry is not easy.
It's a cozy 40-seat bistro located inside a cultural center, which was once a school. Savoie and his team have been putting their own spin on French classics since 2014. When guests come, they can see the staff at work in the open kitchen.
There's nothing to hide, so everybody sees what's going on. It creates intimacy.
Moncton foodie Jason Glant says it's great to see a spot in the province get recognized nationally.
New Brunswick has had a growing food scene over the last 4 or 5 years, 10 years really, and it's so amazing. Hopefully this will make New Brunswick and Greater Moncton a food destination as it should be, because there's a ton of cool and great spots to eat here.
Savoie humbly says his place is not your average restaurant, and he's trying to create a memorable experience for his customers.
They get a vibe that, okay, this is a different place. I don't feel like if I'm in Moncton right now, and that's kind of what we want to bring in the food.
It's the second time the bistro has cracked the top 100, and while Savoie thinks other spots in the province could have made it, he's happy his was chosen again. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Everything looks so absolutely delicious and colorful and fresh.
I see we are still failing with our unwritten rule of not showing delicious food while we're on the show.
Offer it to us, yeah. Like, serve it to us on a platter, please.
Unbelievable.
What a great weekend we had, Galen.
Oh, it was. But now, to start off this week, and I was happy to see this as well, some needed wet weather. We haven't been particularly dry through the month of May, but we did just get through a little bit of a drier stretch, so it was nice to finish that up with some rain. Looking out here at Halifax, I will have more on the forecast after the break.
We are kicking off a brand new contest. CTV and Bermuda Air want to send you on a Bermuda escape. Famous for its pink sand beaches, turquoise water, and island vibes, one lucky viewer will win a trip for 2 to Bermuda, including round-trip airfare from Halifax Stanfield International Airport to St. George's, plus 3 nights in a deluxe water view room at Cambridge Beaches, Bermuda. To enter, all you have to do is go to ctvatlantic.ca and click on the QR code on your screen right now. We'll announce the winner on Friday, June 5th. Oh, what a beautiful, lovely trip that will be. And it's not a long flight either, Kaylin, just about 2.5 hours from Halifax.
I recommend bringing along your personal meteorologist just to ensure that while you're down there enjoying Bermuda, that you have all the weather information you need for any activities.
Makes absolute sense, Kaylin.
I think so.
Yes.
And speaking of Bermuda, there might be a few people looking towards Bermuda by the time we get to the end of this week, because temperatures are going to be cooling off for the Maritimes. We're going to be finishing off May and likely to start June on a cooler note in the region. We're looking out here, uptown St. John for today, as there was some wet weather falling. Of course, we were happy to see the rain, though, here in the Maritimes. Good for the lawns, gardens, streams, well water levels, and, of course, wildfire risk in the region. Taking a look at our weather systems map, barometric pressure is falling. This is a low-pressure system, a couple weather fronts along with it, making its way out of the northeastern United States. We are not finished with the rain yet, though it is beginning to exit western parts of the Maritimes, clearing away there from some of the westernmost communities in New Brunswick, as well as the southwest of Nova Scotia. The rain is going to continue to progress eastward, clearing the region as we make our way through this evening and tonight, which is exactly what we're seeing here on our forecast timeline. Last part of the Maritimes out of this wet weather will be Cape Breton. Even there, though, it should be clearing away by around and shortly after midnight at that point in time as well. We talked about this earlier, those stronger wind gusts in northern Inverness County and Cape Breton. Those will be subsiding. The rest of the night around the Maritimes will be partly cloudy with fog patches developing. So be careful about areas, restricted visibility first thing in the morning if you're hitting the roads early on Tuesday. After that, as we make our way from the morning into the afternoon, the fog will be dissipating and it'll be a mix of sun and cloud around the Maritimes. Not evenly distributed, though. A little bit more cloud cover around parts of the north of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, some eastern areas of Nova Scotia, especially Cape Breton, and a little bit sunnier into the southwest of New Brunswick and western areas of Nova Scotia. It won't be too long, though, before some showers return to the region. That will happen Tuesday evening and Tuesday night through northern areas of New Brunswick, with those showers continuing to move into other parts of the Maritimes as we move through Tuesday night into Wednesday. And right now for Wednesday, some scattered showers in the forecast for the region. Winds for tonight will become northwest as we get in behind that front. They'll be on the breezy side for both tonight and for tomorrow. Tomorrow's wind gusts mostly 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. They'll peaking a little bit higher than that around parts of Prince Edward Island, the north shore of Nova Scotia, where especially for coastal areas, some of the peak gusts could get up to around 50, so a little bit gustier for those areas. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight around the region. In the province of New Brunswick will be falling into the range of 6 to 10 degrees. Down to around 10 tonight for Charlottetown and Summerside, many communities in Prince Edward Island. And for Nova Scotia, a lot of low temperatures between 7 and 11, though a little bit cooler at Sydney, with the low temperature getting down to around 6. And speaking of things being a little bit cooler, eastern parts of the Maritimes for tomorrow, because of that northerly wind coming in off of ocean waters, do remain a little bit cooler. And that includes Prince Edward Island and parts of the east of Nova Scotia, Cape Breton. Low temperature or high temperatures there for tomorrow will be mostly around the low to mid-teens. Other parts of the region, though, we'll see some high temperatures come up towards the low to mid-20s, with some of the mild or even warmer temperatures expected basically in the western half of New Brunswick, as well as parts of the southwest of Nova Scotia, especially interior areas away from the coast. Let's take a look ahead in the forecast to Wednesday. As I mentioned, some scattered showers expected to be around the Maritimes. High temperatures on Wednesday in western areas will be around the high teens, low 20s, but cooler again for eastern parts of the Maritimes. Prince Edward Island, eastern Nova Scotia, where it'll be high single digits and low teens. Let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from 4-year-old Maggie Jean Glenn Cross from Fredericton, New Brunswick. And Maggie has sent us a drawing of spring flowers in bloom in the Fredericton area. Thank you, Maggie. That's something that the rain is certainly good for. And weather watchers can come in anytime to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4. Or you can email me at kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. So the excitement is building ahead of the World Cup tournament that will see games played in Canada for the very first time. As CTV's Jesse Thomas reports, fans had a ball in Halifax over the weekend, where the FIFA World Cup made a tour stop.
Hundreds of soccer fans filed their way into this soccer facility for a rare chance to see the original FIFA World Cup trophy up close. Some fans lined up hours before the gates opened.
Yep, around 9, we were at the very front of the line, very excited.
Soccer fans of all ages and backgrounds took in the fan event.
I want to see the World Cup. I haven't seen it before. It's my first time. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity. First time seeing the World Cup.
As the excitement builds for the FIFA World Cup tournament, some fans traveled from Moncton just to see the trophy.
As soon as we heard that the trophy will be in Halifax, we plan to come here to see the trophy today.
Originally from Morocco, now living in New Brunswick, the family plans to travel to Toronto to catch part of the tournament.
We'll be in Toronto in June. We unfortunately don't get to see a game in the stadium, but we got our tickets in the fan zones.
Other soccer fans would like to see the tournament live, but the costs are just too expensive for this family.
Plus we need to travel, which is like 10K, and that's not feasible for us. So we will be like just watching on the TV.
Earlier in the day, FIFA World Cup champion Alessandro Nesta, who won the World Cup 20 years ago with Italy, unveiled the gold-plated trophy before a crowd at the Canadian Museum of Immigration at Pier 21. Nesta says lifting the trophy above his head was one of the greatest feelings in his life, but the realization of what Italy accomplished didn't immediately sink in.
After the final, you don't understand nothing. Yeah. The emotion is too big to understand.
The World Cup normally stays at its home at the FIFA Museum in Zurich until it's handed out to the winning country. So for fans here, just seeing the iconic trophy in person was unforgettable. Jesse Thomas, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Jesse. Time for a break. When we come back, thumbs up to this story.
I have no clue what I'm doing, but it seems pretty straightforward.
He beat cancer, and now he's conquering Canada one province at a time. Meet the young advocate who's hitchhiking cross country. Next. We often hear about people walking, running, or cycling to raise money for a worthy cause. But as CTV's Derek Haggett shows us, a young cancer survivor from Moncton has decided to hitch a ride across the country for the IWK.
I have no clue what I'm doing, but it seems pretty straightforward.
When Quinn Strang's father heard about his son's plan to hitchhike across Canada, he thought he was joking.
I didn't quite frankly believe him. I thought he was just, throwing this out. And the more he talked about it, the more I said, okay, this kid's actually going to do this.
Quinn started his cross-country trek in St. John's on May 17.
Well, I've met some amazing people. I've been lucky enough to have people reach out for drives, so I'm getting a mix of sticking my thumb out and a little bit of people reaching out for drives as well.
But it's not a coming-of-age adventure for the 20-year-old. Quinn is a cancer survivor. He's hitchhiking to raise $100,000 for cancer research and the IWK Health Center in Halifax. The plan? Follow Terry Fox's route and then go all the way to the Pacific. At age 15, Quinn discovered he had stage 4 Ewing sarcoma.
That spread through my lungs and my lymph nodes, and I had about a 15% chance to live, I think. And I trucked through it, I beat it.
But the cancer came back his senior year, and he had a femur transplant after graduation.
It was tough. I had the easy job. I was just there to support him. If I could have taken his pain away every day, I would have.
A short break in his hometown last week before hitting the road again. He knows the risks.
I mean, there's definitely always a concern, just like anything else in life, right? But I haven't had the slightest problem so far.
While they don't condone hitchhiking, the Strangs believe it'll bring attention to the cause.
I'm pretty impressed and honored to have him as a son.
As for how he'll get back home?
Yeah, I figure once I hitch across Canada, I'm going to want to get home pretty quick. So, yeah, I'm just going to wait in the airport till I get the first flight back to Moncton.
The hope to be back to his pets and his father by mid-June. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Oh, Quinn, you're amazing. In case you're wondering, Quinn made it to Montreal on Saturday and spent the weekend in Quebec. Today, he's in Ottawa, and we're hoping he has wonderful weather to hitchhike across the country.
Yeah, I certainly hope so, too. Tough kid. If he makes it to the prairies, boy, there's going to be some heat building there. Because it heats up there, it cools down here, and I'm going to have more on that coming up at 6.
We'll see you at 6. I'll see you tomorrow. The national news is next. Good night.